Hello everyone, welcome to day 9th of my LeetCode challenge, and today's question is construct target array with multiple sums. This seems like a very trick question. It's a hard problem in LeetCode, and let's look at the presentation that I have created for the solution. Also, I would request you guys to go through the hint because these are very important when it comes to coming up with the approach. So let's move on to the presentation and let's get started. So let me just take a pen here. Construct array, target array with multiple sums, LeetCode 135. In the question, we are given an input array of a particular size where all the elements are of the array are of nature 1, 1, 1, 1. All of them are 1. And we need to tell whether we are able to generate the target array or not. And this is a target array that is given to us. Also, there are some rules that are specified in the question. The rule says at any point of time you can replace the total sum that is there in your input array with any element in your array. For example, let's first what is the total sum of the input array where we have all ones. It's 3 in this case. So we replaced the first index with 3, and what is the updated total sum? It's 5 now. And we replace the second index with 5, and what is the total sum now? It's 9. We replace the first 0th index with 9, and in the last step we observe that this array has become total to the target input array, and hence we say that it's possible to convert 1 1 1 arrays into 9 3 and 5. Hence we return true. Also, there is one important takeaway from this approach, that the order of the element is not important, because at any point in time you can replace any index with the total sum at that given point. Had it been the target array as 3, 9, 5 or any further permutation of this this target array, the answer would have stayed true. So it's agnostic of the order. So let's move on to understanding the solution, and instead of going from all ones to the target array, we'll do the reversal. We'll go from the target to all ones, and we'll check in the end whether all ones is achievable or not. If it is, then we'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. Since the order is not important, I have added them in a priority queue. I'll tell you why I'm using a priority queue. So let's hypothetically assume that we have added all the elements in the priority queue, and the priority queue returns the maximum element whenever you pull out elements from it. So what is the total sum that is there in the input target array? That is 17. In each step we'll try to pull out elements from the priority queue, and it being the max heap will return the maximum element out of it. Therefore, at each step we'll try to bring the maximum element that is there in the priority queue to a lower value. Let's try and understand how. So this is the input array, 9, 3 and 5. The total sum is 17. We'll pull out the maximum element from the priority queue, which in this case is 9, and we'll try to think of what value at this particular index would have led to the total sum of 9. For example, let's assume that we want to generate a total of 9 sum, and what value at this particular index would have led to that? Let's assume it to be x, and what is the remaining sum of elements? The remaining sum of elements is 3 plus 5, which is 8. So x plus 8 equals to 9, because in the previous step we would have replaced the total sum with the value at this index. So x turns out to be 1. Therefore, you reduce the value of 9 and filled 1 back in the priority queue. So let's try to go for more elements. Let's pull out the maximum element from the priority queue. The max element is 5. And what value would have led to 5? 5 equals to 1 plus 3 plus x. 1 plus 3 plus x. So what is that value? 1 plus 3 is 4. X turns out to be 1. So x again is 1. So you'll remove 5 and you will update it with 1, which is highlighted here. Now we have 1, 3 and 1 in the priority queue. What is the maximum element in the priority queue? It is 3. So what value would have led to 3? So let's find that up. 3 equals to 1 plus 1 plus x, which again turns out to be 1. And in the end, you'll observe that the maximum element in the priority queue is 1 because you deleted 3 from it and added x, which turns out to be 1. And the maximum element, as soon as it turns out to be 1, we'll say array is achievable and return true as an answer. Also, if you carefully observe, there is one problem with this approach. You have to calculate the sum every time of the remaining elements that are there in the priority queue apart from the maximum element. That will increase the time complexity by n times. Can we improvise on it? The answer is yes. So let's try to understand. Let me just take a pen, and this is the same input array 935, and the total here is 17. Let's pull out the maximum element. The maximum element is 9, which is highlighted here. So what is the sum of the remaining elements in the priority queue? That would be equal to 3 plus 8, which is nothing but total minus the maximum element. So we get the sum of the remaining elements using total minus maximum. And let's now try to update the maximum value. How will we update the maximum value? We'll subtract max minus remaining. Max minus remaining is 9 minus 3 minus 5, which is 9 minus 8, and the value turns out to be 1. Since we will delete this value and we'll add 1 to it, and in this process the total gets updated. The total gets updated by 17 minus 9, the maximum element, plus, which in this case is 1. So 17 minus 9 plus 1 is nothing but 9 itself. So we updated the total value to 9. And let's reiterate the same process. You'll pull out the maximum element, which turns out to be 5. I have highlighted here. And what is the sum of the remaining elements? That will be given by total minus maximum element, which is nothing but 4, and which is actually equal to 1 plus 3 is 4. And we'll update the value of the maximum by 5 minus 4, which is nothing but 1. So this gets removed by 1. So let's update the total as well. Total gets updated by 9 minus max plus 1, which is 10 minus 5, which is 5. So the new total is 5. And let's pull out the maximum element. The maximum element is 3, which is highlighted here. And the remaining sum is 5 minus 3, which is 2, which is also obvious. 1 plus 1 is 2. And let's update the value by 3 minus 2, which is nothing but 1. So this gets removed and we'll replace it by 1. Now we have 1, 1, 1, and the maximum element on the priority queue is 1. We'll abort the process and return true as an answer. This logic helps us reduce recalculating the sum of the remaining elements every time, and as a result of which we improvise on a time complexity. Let's quickly try and understand the approach by another example. We have 8 and 5 as the target. What is the total sum? The total sum is 13, and you'll pull out the maximum element from the priority queue, which is 8. And what is the sum of the remaining elements? It's 5. So 8 minus 5 turns out to be 3. So you'll replace 8 by 3. So 3 gets added in the priority queue, 8 is gone. Now what is the maximum element in the priority queue? It is 5. So, and the sum of the remaining element is 3. So 5 minus 3 turns out to be 2. So we'll replace 5 by 2. And let's continue the process. We have 3 as a maximum element, and what is the sum of the remaining elements? It's 2. So 3 minus 2 turns out to be 1. So you will delete 3 and add 1, which is highlighted here. So now we have 1 and 2 in the priority queue. The maximum element is 2. What is the sum of the remaining elements? It's 1. So you'll delete 2 and add 1. And now the maximum element in the priority queue is 1. We abort the process and return true as an answer. The answer is true. Also, let's take another case, which is a very interesting case. Let's assume we have the target array as 3, 100, and in each step you will observe that you are reducing the value of 100 by 3. For example, the maximum element in the priority queue is 100, so and the sum of the remaining element is 3. So I'll replace 100 by 100 minus 3 is 97, and in the next step you'll replace again it by 3, which is 94, and further you'll replace it by 91. and you have to do this process multiple times. So do we have a smarter way for this? The answer is yes. How? What you will do, you'll pull out the maximum element. So maximum element equals to the updated max equals to max minus modulus instead of minus the sum of the remaining elements. So sum instead of max minus sum multiple times. So here we replace subtraction by the modulus operation because eventually we will lead to the same answer, which in this case would be 1. Let's understand few negative cases as well. And here we have the target as 10,6 and the total is 16. You'll pull out the maximum element from the priority queue, which turns out to be 10. So 10 minus the remaining sum of elements, which is 6, is 4. So we'll replace 10 by 4. 4 gets added in the priority queue and 10 is gone. And now let's pull out the maximum element from the priority queue. The max element is 6. 6 minus 4, which is the sum of the remaining elements, which turns out to be 2. So we'll replace your 6 by 2. Now we have 4 and 2 in the priority queue. The max element is 4. So 4 minus 2, the sum of the remaining element, turns out to be 2. And we have 2 and 2 in the priority queue. And let's do the same process. Pull out the maximum element is 2. The sum of the remaining elements turns out to be 2. And it will be replaced by 0. As soon as you see the updated max value is 0, you'll abort the process and return false as your answer. So this is one of the corner negative case. There are few others. I'll explain them in the coding section. So let's move on to the coding part. Let's pull out the maximum element. Max element equals to pq.poll, and let's find out the sum of the remaining elements. The remaining total equals to total minus max element, which also makes sense. And let's write few successful cases. If my max element happens to be equal to 1 or my remaining total happens to be equal to 1, I'll return true as my answer. Let's write few negative cases now. If my remaining total turns out to be 0 or my max value is less than the remaining total, in both these cases we'll return false. Also, let's try and calculate the updated max value. Integer updated max equals to max EL modulus remaining total, which I explained in the presentation as well. If my updated max turns out to be 0, I'll return false. One of the corner cases that I explained. And next we will update the values. Max element EL equals to updated max. We'll add the max EL in the priority queue. pq.offer max EL. Also we'll update the total sum. Total sum turns out to be updated max plus the remaining total, whatever it is. And in the end we'll simply return true as a successful case. So let's try this up. Lousy exception and total remaining is 0, total minus EL. Line number 13. Let's go to line number 13. It should be total sum. And here it's a lousy exception, so let's typecast it to integer. Now let's try this up. Hopefully it will pass. Looks good. Let me just submit it. Accepted. Awesome. What's the time complexity of this approach? The time complexity is order of n log n, and the space complexity is again order of n, because we are using a priority queue for solving this approach. Thanks for watching the video. I know it's a difficult problem to understand. Hope you understood it. I took the help of these hints that were specified and came up with the approach. It's difficult to come up on your own in the interview for this problem. But don't get disheartened, it happens with everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day ahead.